Hi, it's Piyush. I've got a great video to share with you. It's a recording of a webinar that we recently did, and it went really well. A lot of great participants, great questions. I hope you enjoy this. It's got a lot of great content, and I hope you get to stay till the end because there's some really cool stuff I show at the end. And after you're done with this, I hope you can scroll down to the end of this page and just provide me some feedback. I really want to hear back about what you think about this video we put together, this webinar, and it really will be a great 60 minutes that you spend here. The entire webinar is how you can create an automated system to increase your sales for your business through the internet. So enjoy it. I start you off just in the beginning when I'm introducing myself, so hope you enjoy it. Thanks.
Michigan Tech University. That's where I got my undergrad and master's. Did a lot of engineering work as well at a company called ABS Consulting. Worked at a company called Danaher Corporation, and recently, about a couple of years ago, did an MBA from the University of Virginia. So that's just a little bit of my background. Wanted to show this. Patricia had said I should kind of show, and I did this once before. I'm originally from India and went to Houghton, Michigan. That's where I got my master's degree, and bachelor's and master's in chemical engineering. And so for those who want to know where Houghton, Michigan is, that's where it is, and it's up in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. And when I got there, that's kind of the sign I saw. Kind of see end of the earth and then Houghton. So it was pretty far out there, and no, I didn't really see that sign, but it was pretty far out. And since then, I've been trying to make my way south. And so it got a bit cool up there, and so did my engineering work, got an MBA from the University of Virginia, and then I'm now in Phoenix, Arizona, where I've been combining my learnings from engineering and MBA, really trying to bring those together into running a business and helping other business owners help and improve on their business as well. So that's kind of what I've been doing for the last couple of years, and that kind of ties into what I've been doing with the online internet marketing piece. Just a little more background, I actually came here to look to buy a business. That's kind of what I wanted to do. I wanted to acquire a business just because I wanted to apply all the things I'd learned on a business, and one way to do that was to buy a company. And I spent a considerable amount of time. I spent about 2 years looking for a company, and this was looking for all types of businesses, but a lot of them related to engineering kinds of things. And this was back in 2008 when things weren't that well, things weren't going that well. And so I actually ended up seeing a lot of companies that were out for sale. And one thing that I saw that was common across all these companies, and that was they all needed sales. The one reason they were on the market themselves to sell the business was they weren't getting, a lot of them they weren't getting the sales into their company, and so they wanted to sell the business and walk away from it. When I looked at those kinds of companies, it was difficult to get into those. One of the things that I said is, what can I do if I'm in my own business, how could I have this thing called the sales engine where I actually have sales coming into my company over and over, so I'm not in this position where I don't have sales and I kind of have to walk away. And that's when someone introduced me to online marketing, and they said, that's one way to get sales into your business and do that on a way that's consistent at least, and you have a system that keeps bringing in leads and so on. That's how I got into the whole online marketing world. And what I want to share with you today is some of the things that I've learned along the way in this whole experience through online marketing, and really the things that I found that were missing in some of the pieces that I saw that were out there. So I'd like to share some of that with you over the next few slides. The way I got started in online marketing, and that sounds like most people in online marketing get started this way, is through affiliate programs. And affiliate programs are basically sites that people build. They're not really selling their own thing, but they're selling other people's things. And they try to get leads and generate traffic coming to the site, and then try to pass those on to the people who actually have products that are selling them. And so that's how I got trained in this whole concept of coming up with creating a sales funnel just for other people's products. And so I bought a program on affiliate marketing, and I went through it, and I followed that program step by step on how you can set up a site and convert and get some leads and things like that. I built a few different sites, and here's an example of a dog training site that I built, one of several, but this is one that I wanted to share with you, and I'll kind of show you some numbers with these. And the data that I show is based on this site that I built. But here's a dog training site. It's called havenacetraining.com, and I follow the instructions of this program that I'd bought on how you build the site, how you get leads, how you get them to go and read articles, and all the different pieces of this online marketing thing that we're supposed to do to get traffic and convert and make sales. And so I went through and did this program, and it was great. It seemed to be working. So here's a chart that I tracked on the number of visitors I got to this website. And so this is by the week number of the year, and here are the number of visitors. So on this week I started off and had 20 visitors, and then it jumped up and it kept going up, and sometimes it was down just because probably Christmas and that kind of time frame. But I started tracking this. I said, wow, it works. You do some of the things they say, and you start getting visitors. Now that's just one piece of it. I'm getting visitors. Then you want to get some sales, but before you do that, they say you need to give away something and get some leads for them. And I'll be going through some of the details of that, but that's kind of what they suggested you do. And so I followed the program, and now I had started getting some leads. And leads are people who want to buy something. They give you your information, and it's your list. It's a potential customer that you have. And so I started actually getting leads, and people were coming in as leads. And so over here, the chart to use is the graph to use is here. And so the number of leads would be 3 in week 40, and then week 43 I didn't get any, and then I got 4. And so this was great. I mean, every week I would look at this and say, wow, I'm getting new leads, and this is working really well. Now, that's all fair and good, but I wasn't still making money. I needed to sell stuff. Now, and I have Patricia, I think, who's online. I think she may have just joined. But Patricia, I was just going through my lead generation. Do you want to quickly jump in there if you can hear?
Well, I'm just so thrilled I got on here. My computer went completely black. Here I am going on this webinar with poor Piyush, and my computer's down. I apologize to all of you. I'm thrilled you are all on the line. You are in for the greatest information tonight. Piyush and I met when actually he went through your Gift is Your Niche course, and I really realized what a brilliant man he is, what a fabulous person he is. So we've kind of hung out ever since. He's spoken at my live events, and people love him. But the reason they love him isn't just because he's really authentic and because he's such a good guy. He has the information that we need to make internet marketing so easy. So I wanted to at least throw that in. I love this whole affiliate thing that he has going also. If something happens that I fall back off the line, I'm just going to keep rebooting and coming back in, Piyush, and I apologize to all of you for that. But I'm here now, so let's go on with the show.
No worries. I started off, and I hear an echo in your machine, so you might have to do something to that volume of yours, but that's okay. What I was starting to tell the people on the line was some of the things that I've been doing that I did to generate this traffic, and then I started getting people to actually give me their information, and they converted to leads. And what I was saying was this was all fair and good, except for the fact that I wasn't making any money, any sales yet. And so I said, well, what else do I need to do now? I've got this program going, and how do I make sales? And so I started by the affiliate program, and okay, that's what someone said I should do. And then the squeeze page, that's what someone said I should do, so I was doing that. And then someone said, I should do membership sites. That's how you really make the money. And actually, it's the sales page that converts, really. So, your copy on the sales page has to be right in order to convert the leads that you have. And I said, aha, so that's what I got to do. And then someone said social media is what I have to do. But before you do that, make sure you have product launches going, you write your articles, and in your free time, make sure you write the ebook, the e-zines that are obviously going out, the SEO work, and so on, the email marketing, and obviously I got to do the list building, and shopping carts have to be in there. So that's all great. And then someone also said, oh, you're not doing mobile marketing in this world. You got to be doing mobile marketing. And so I looked at all of this and said, wow, that's a lot of stuff. If I was to do all this to get my traffic to convert, that seems like a lot of stuff. There must be something there I can do different. Or is that how people do it? And so to me, this was a pain. And the pain just kept building because there were all these shiny objects out there. Jeff Walker, for anyone who's doing online marketing, this guy is a guru and he has an awesome product. It's called Product Launch Formula. I went through it. It was awesome. I bought that, and then I did the Infusionsoft, and that was a great program. They have the email marketing. I learned that. And then I did Aweber. I looked at that program, and that's another email marketing thing. Did the Affiliorama piece. And by this time, I forgot what Jeff Walker was telling me, but I had to go back and learn. I didn't even finish that. And then I did this program. I did this program. I did this. I said, okay, this program might be it. And then, could it be this? Could it be, I found this program that says buy and selling websites. Is that the answer? Is that what I got to do? Then it's a Google Sniper. I have some friends at Google, and, they look at this stuff and say, wow, there's programs out there that do Google Sniper. And to me, that's amazing. Now, if I can get on there and learn it and do it, that's fine. But by this time, I've spent hundreds of hours of watching videos and thousands of dollars on all these products. I was a little confused, but others, like my wife, were not happy. I actually remember my sister-in-law who had once said, I told her, hey, I'm buying this other program, and she's like, have you talked to your wife about that? And obviously I hadn't. But anyway, so there's these shiny objects out there, which ones to follow and which ones to start with. I had lost it. I didn't know which ones to really get into and work around. So anyway, that was the overall pain that I found. Now, here's what I'd like to do. I got several of you who are attending, and I want to just stop here and take a poll. I want to find out, what is this the same thing that, if I'm the only one feeling this, or are there other people out there who have this? And this webinar program is a great polling thing, so I'm going to try it. I'm going to take a poll right now, and for all of you on there, I'd like you to go on your screen and just click on there. The question is, do you feel overwhelmed with the amount of work needed for online marketing if you're doing it? Yes, sometimes, or no. And I'd just like you to spend the next 5 or 10 seconds on this. Okay, thanks. So I'm going to shut the polls there. Hopefully people have voted. Close the poll. And in fact, I'm going to show the poll. There's a way to share it. So here we go. Here's what people had said. Looks like over 90%, 95% of you said yes. So I guess I'm not the only one, which is good. If it was 100% said no, I would have stopped and asked somebody from the audience to speak and tell me what they're doing. But it seems like everybody had the same issue, so I'm going to keep going if that's okay. So let's see. I'm going to hide that. I had the same feeling. I had the overwhelm, and I wanted to find what the answer was, or at least if there's a better answer out there. So just wanted to tell you a little bit about how I came about with what I found out. This was me in the middle. I was doing all of it, right? I was doing the web development, the copyright, the shopping cart, the SEO. I was doing the seminars. I was doing surveys and all that. So I was doing all of it in the middle. Now, at one point, I had the brilliant idea, and someone said it to me. They said, why don't you get others to do it for you? And I said, aha, okay, that's the way to do it now. So I said, great, now I'm going to get others to do this for me. And this is what it ended up. So I did get VAs, and there are ways to get people, to do some work for you, either through, sometimes I use Odesk and Elance and some of these things online. But, there are other ways. You get people locally who can help you. So I got people locally who can help me with web development, with the copyright, with the shopping cart, the SEO, and, all these different pieces. That was all fair and good, but here's what happened. I was still in the middle, and I found out that I actually ended up doing more work. I would spend time with the VA, I would spend time with this VA, I'd show them what needs to be done, and then I'd have to communicate it between these guys, and whatever I got from this SEO, I had to go back to the copyright, and so I actually ended up finding that I was doing more work. So that didn't seem like that was, going to work for me. So then I went back and said, okay, let me just look back, and I've done the MBA, I've done the engineering. Is there something from that I could have learned that I can apply here? What I ended up finding when I remember reading the E-Myth book some time ago, what I remember from that E-Myth book was, you need to not work in your business, you need to work on it. And that's what I ended up learning. I remember saying, okay, that's exactly what I need to do. This might be the answer. And so I took principles from the E-Myth and said, okay, we need to be working on the business. The other thing is I remember this quote that was by Edward Deming. For anyone who doesn't know Edward Deming, he's a father of quality systems and continuous improvement. And one of the things he had said was, if you can't describe what you're doing as a process, you don't know what you're doing. And to me, that's exactly how I felt. I really felt like I didn't know what I was doing. And when I remember this, it was, if you can't describe it, what you're doing as a process, I was like, aha, that is it. You got to be able to describe this as a process. All of this is a process. And if I was to able to put this in a sort of process map, things would be much better. And so as an engineer, that's kind of how we do things anyway. We don't build things by just going out there and putting things together. We draw it out and we look at what the process is and we design it and all that, and then we go out and actually put it in place. So that, to me, was what the magic moment was. It was once I mapped my processes, I knew what to tell others to do, communicate to others. I knew what I needed to track because now I had a map and I was able to see where things were going. I figured out what I needed my most attention first, where the next shiny object fit in, if at all. So the shiny objects, does any of these fit in here or not? This map allowed me to do that. And so what I want to share with you is this whole concept of process map. That is so critical in what I did. I'd like to share how it actually helped me move from where I was in that land of a lot of different shiny objects into something more long-term that I could manage. So before I show you the map, I'd like to go into online marketing and the online marketing strategy. We need to understand the strategy first and then map it out. So I'm going to spend a few minutes just talking about the online marketing strategy, and then it'll fit into how the map works. So real quick, this is online marketing strategy, and it's kind of like marketing strategy in general, but you have lead generation where leads come in. This is where you have traffic coming to your site or whatever. You have a way to generate leads. You then have these who are potential customers to become customers, and they are the conversion piece. So you get the leads and then you convert them. Then you deliver whatever product you have or whatever service that you've offered these guys or sold to them, you deliver it. So that's the third part. And then you retain these customers. There are many different ways to draw this, but here's one way to look at marketing strategy and online marketing strategy. The customer retention piece is when you have the customer and you sold them something, you delivered what you promised, and now you sell them more stuff because they like you, they agree, they trust you, and so you can sell them more stuff. And the lead generation gets easier because now they can refer other clients to you. So to me, that's kind of the process and the overall marketing strategy. Now, within each one of these, you have different pieces for the online bit. And that's how, when I put all these pieces together, here's how it looked. For lead generation, you have, I call it list building as well, but lead generation, you got the SEO, which is a search engine optimization, pay-per-click, landing pages. These are all components of lead generation. And I'm going to look at some of these. I don't think we have time to go through all of them, but I'd like to at least show you a few that I found real important. So you have the SEO, pay-per-click, social media, direct mail campaign. These are all elements that make up lead generation. So real quick, if I was to show one of the pieces, search engine optimization, that everyone talks about that, SEO, why it's important. Well, search engine optimization, for some of you may not know, it's basically trying to optimize your website and your presence out there in the search engines, whether it's Google, Yahoo, MSN, Bing, whatever search engines out there. You want to have your name and your website show up there high enough in the results so that when people search for a specific keyword, they see your page there and they click on it. And that's one way to generate traffic, right? When someone searches for something, they come up to your page and they click on it, and then you get traffic. So Google, you see there's a lot of people searching. So obviously you can't ignore this. This is one of the different ways, but Google had in 2010 88 billion searches per month. Twitter actually that beat Yahoo, but this was in 2010. The new numbers are probably much higher. So that's the search engine optimization piece. And to do search engine optimization, one of the things you got to have that you do real well are keyword research, and that's one piece where you got to make sure that search engines are all about keywords. So do you have the right keywords that people search for your type of business, for your type of product, and are enough people searching for it? Is it too difficult to get up to the first page or not? There's a program called Traffic Travis that I use. There are other programs out there. This one just happens to be free, which is great. So you can download it and actually try out different keywords, look at traffic results, and they have different programs to train and those kinds of things on how this works. So Traffic Travis is one program that I use often to do keyword research. And you can go on there and kind of see how it works, but the whole concept is how many people are searching for this stuff and how difficult is it to kind of rank in these search engines. So the other ways to do it are pay-per-click, and pay-per-click is paying now to get high on Google or Yahoo or any of these search engines. Patricia, I had one of these going on for you. I had pay-per-click for six-figure program. That was the keyword. And then we ranked Patricia's website, patriciadrain.com, in pay-per-click. And back in January, we were paying $1.26 per click. And with paying for that, in a day or two, we got you up to pretty high up in the first page. But that was, we're paying for everybody who comes here. So any click that happens, we have to pay $1.26 for that. That's pay-per-click. Now, we were doing SEO at the same time, and what we found, and within a matter of months, the same six-figure program keyword, if you do it today, your website comes up pretty high. It's on the 6th or 7th ranking in Google. Now, that's for a specific keyword, and that's after doing SEO and things like that. But now we no longer need to do pay-per-click because we are getting your results in the organic side of it here where you don't pay-per-click. So that's a concept of getting pay-per-click versus SEO and trying to get your page up there. The next thing is once you have someone clicking on something, you want them to come to a landing page. And the landing page is where people come, they're searching for something, they come to your site, and they see certain things of interest to them. And you want to get their name and email in exchange for something of value to them. And in this case, was a free report. So that's the landing page where they come and you give them some information in exchange for their name and email. Now, why do you need their name and email? That's the lead conversion piece. So we've done lead generation. Now the lead conversion piece is we want to convert these people that we've got on our list into clients. And so we do that through follow-ups in online marketing, through follow-ups, sales pages, blogs, and events. Again, I can't go through all the details, but I'm going to just cover the things that I found were most important, and follow-up was a big piece of this. So in lead conversion, I want to talk to you about follow-up. Here's another quote from Deming. He says, in God we trust, all others must bring data. And so the data shows why follow-up is important. I mean, everyone says it is important, but the data just shows it. And I looked at numbers, Infusionsoft, when I went to one of their presentations, they showed me this, and this is when it hit home. It was, how many number of calls does it take to close a sale? And it was shocking to me to say 2% close on the first call. I mean, there's 81% of people who close after the 5th, which was just amazing to me. I mean, that's how many companies follow up 4, 5, 6 times. Well, that's what they also had in their presentation. And they said 48%, half of them, almost half, quit after the first call. So they've left a whole bunch of stuff on the table there, and which is just amazing. And what's crazy is 90%, over 90% quit before the 4th call or 5th call. So there's only 10% that go after the 5th. So follow-up is important. Now, Infusionsoft has done a great job of doing this, of automating the follow-up through email marketing and postcard marketing and all kinds of things. There are other programs that do that, Aweber and some of the others in Constant Contact and things, but Infusionsoft is kind of the big daddy in all of these autoresponder things, and all the gurus use this in online marketing. It is slightly more expensive, but it just has so many great features there. Aweber is another type of autoresponder sequence that does some great stuff as well. Now, for my dog training, I remember I showed you some conversions. This is what autoresponders did for me. These are follow-up emails. So I have more than a few. So I have like 40 emails following up. Now, that's maybe a bit much. But these are all individual emails that keep going out one after another every other day or every 3 days. And what this graph shows me is this is 100%, which is all the clients that converted or at least clicked on something to purchase. If I had stopped at the 2nd or 4th or 6th email, I would have had only 30 to 40% of all the people I potentially got. It's amazing to me that somebody actually bought something after the 27th autoresponder. So to me, that's the numbers say it all. People can say whatever they want, but I believe in numbers. And when I saw this, I said, now that is pretty amazing. So autoresponders was a big deal. The sales page is another piece that is obviously important. This is when they come in and they make the purchase. And there's a whole bunch of things that you got to do there as well in terms of copyright. Make sure you got the right text in there. Some of you may have seen those long email websites that just keep going on and on and on and on. And sometimes I'm like, I don't want to read all this stuff. Does this really work? It does. And people do all kinds of things like testing whether the yellow background or is there a cancel, does it convert more or less? So that's getting more into the details. But having a sales page and having the copy and having these things does make a difference and convert off your client or your leads into clients. I mentioned testing. This is another big piece where you can say whatever. You can say, oh, I don't like this page, I like this page. You only can know after you test. Marketing is all about testing. And so here are two ads that were out there, and they're identical except for these two things at the bottom. One has an email, one has a website. And so if someone just asked me, said, which one converts better, I would be like, I don't know. I think maybe this one, just because it's a website. I would go there and look at it and maybe then convert. Or is it this one? I don't know. And I don't need to know. I put it out there. I do a test. And it actually turns out, for those who might be guessing, this one has a 10 times better conversion than this. Would you have guessed it? Would we have done it? I don't know out of the bat. But I think after you test it, you can really get the numbers and see what works. Here's another one. Here's a button that looks like this or this. Which one works better? And it turns out this one does, because it looks more like the Amazon button, and if you have that, people are more familiar with it and they'll click on it. I could have made up another story and said this one works better because it doesn't look like the Amazon button and it works, and you would have believed me, but the numbers will tell me the answer. Here's another one. This is on the sales page where they have a cross out and they have this. Now, does that work better? Yes, no. Again, these are details that go into when you have a lot of traffic coming and you want to convert better. But just to get the idea that there are intricacies here that you got to do to increase your conversion and make things work better for you. And that's all part of your lead conversion. So let's do some quick math. What I'd like to go over is what these numbers could look like if you were tracking all of this stuff. So let's say you had 1,000 visitors per month coming on your website, and you had a 5% lead conversion. So that means they're not bought anything. They just took something from you in exchange for their email and name. So that's 50 leads per month. And let's say you now have 5% of those leads become clients, which is about 2.5 clients per month, or maybe 5 clients per every 2 months. That's kind of what the number is. So let's say you're selling $500 per client of a product or a service you have going on. So let's say you either sell a product that's $500, or let's say you have a monthly program with a client and each of them brings in $500 in total. So you're now up to $1,250 a month with 2.5 clients at $500 and $15,000 a year. So that's just showing you some math of how it could work. What's cool about this is now you can estimate what your dollar per visitor is. You do that by looking at your total per month, $1,250 per month, by the number of visitors, so 1,000 visits per month. So that's $1.25 per visitor. Now, I know this may be a bit complex, but all I'm trying to get to is you could now evaluate and say, I am making $1.25 per visitor that comes to my site. And that's powerful because now you can really put a number to how much you can spend on getting more visitors to your site. The other number is the dollar per lead. You made $1,250 per month and 50 leads per month, so you're making $25 a lead. Again, this is a lead. This is a name that you got into your database, whether it's from the website or whether it's from somebody else. You're making $25 every time you get a new name. Okay, that's on average. And so those numbers are powerful, and that's what you want to look at and track to make sure and see whether your system is working or not. So what I'm going to show you is how all this kind of plays together when you have actually a dashboard and things like that that you've put together for this system. I still have a little bit more to go in terms of the product delivery, retention, and there are other pieces. But Patricia had mentioned that there may be some folks that may need to leave early. And so I'm going to actually break here because it's a good breaking point between these two parts. I'll come back to some of the maps and things that I'm still to show you. But some of you guys may be thinking, okay, you talked about overwhelm. 95% of you were overwhelmed by all of this stuff that was there before I showed you all this. you may be looking at this and saying, okay, I'm even more overwhelmed. Like most entrepreneurs and most people who want to do this, you can do this for yourself. You can develop this all for yourself. And that's what I wanted to do, but I spent a lot of time doing that. How about if I just did this for you? And that's kind of what I want to talk to you about on this webinar. It's how about I put these things together for you? That's kind of what I want to do for people. It's to put together these programs and be able to show them how this works for their business. And so I've put together a program of this entire package where I do it for you in terms of setting up these systems. And Patricia, I'm just going to talk through this program right now. Is that okay to do?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay. The way this program, I've broken up into 3 sections. In the first section, first month, what I do is I spend time with you and some of your folks to discover and interview what your product or service is. So I have a program that's set up where I want to take one of your products or services and implement this for you. And so we sit together and understand what that product or service is that you're selling, develop the strategy, so develop the online marketing strategy, do the keyword research, and actually map it out. And I'm going to show you the maps that I have that I build for myself and some of my clients, but that's kind of what we do in the first month of this program. In the second month, then we do the lead generation and the conversion bit, the pieces that I just went through. We actually sit and build it for you because we now have enough information from the first month, from the information we gather from you, that we can build your landing page. So we actually build the site. We look at some of the copy. We actually create the copy ourselves. I've got a great copywriter for this. We do the SEO work. We set up the PPC and do social media and things that are part of this strategy. And then we set up your email and your direct mail and your whole campaign for you. And we use some of the tools that I had mentioned earlier. Also build the sales page with the copy and look at testing. What are we going to test to make sure that these things convert for you? And in the third month, then we build the dashboard, and I'll be showing you the dashboard shortly, but we build this dashboard where you can actually track the numbers, and you saw the numbers that we would be looking at in the previous slide, where you can actually figure out now what your dollar per lead is, what your dollar per visitor is with this dashboard that you have in place. So we do this for one of your products or your services or a service that you have. And we build the entire system so that you now have a template that you can use for your other programs and services that you may want to sell. So we do this for one thing, we make it work, we set it up, and then we hand it to you so you can build it for other systems and templates. That way you kind of see how it all comes together first before you do all these things piecemeal. So the program that I've got is a value of $79.97. That's for the one-time setup fee. And then every month after this, we review your numbers with you. We recommend tests that need to be done, and then we continue doing SEO for the pieces that we've set up for you. And that's $197 a month for doing that. Now, just for people on the call today, what we have is, just for people, a special where it's $49.97 for the setup. So we've taken that price much lower for folks who are on the call today. And we have a bonus in there as well. And so I wanted to talk about that bonus. This bonus is pretty amazing. I've asked Patricia to see if she would be able to be part of this whole project, and she has agreed to put in her time as part of this program. So you get an hour of Patricia's time to help you with the offline marketing strategies that you may have going. So that's a bonus that you get as part of this program. So Patricia, that's what I wanted to share now before I move on.
Okay. Well, one thing I wanted to mention here is month 1, I have not, in all my years of being on the internet and doing the information marketing that I've done, no one has ever interviewed me to really come up with a strategy of keywords, researching, and mapping out a process. So I really applaud you for this. And we went over this program for all of you on the line, so this isn't new to me, but I can't even tell you how excited I am that there is a program where somebody's doing it for us. So the next one, month 2, that's my most exciting month, by the way, the implementation. See, he takes over then. We don't have to do anything. I can't tell you how many landing pages I've written, how many SEOs I've worked with. I have spent to date, in fact, I added it up, $12,000 on SEOs to find how to get my search engine optimization so people came to my website. I have nothing for that. He has an SEO in place and himself besides, so, and pay-per-click. No one ever really taught me how to do that. And then the conversion, here's my favorite one out of every, I don't know if I told you this, Piyush, but it's the sales page. Right. It's actual, they write the sales page from the interview that they do. A sales page copywriters are charging anywhere from $30,000 to $50,000 for the sales page. But they also know they get a return of $1 million in products. That's a fact with that. And I love the testing that they're doing. See, now he's left me out of this whole plan. I love that. And now month 3, they start managing, building the dashboard, updating the strategy, providing a template to me. But the part that I didn't know about, Piyush, is every month after. Are you saying that this is all set up for just the investment? Well, it is an investment, $49.97. But then does it only cost me $197 a month to go forward with you?
Yeah, that was one that we were looking at to seeing what it would be. The way, yeah, it's $197 a month, and the reason it is there is that price. It's now that we know we've set up these systems for you and we know how it's all working. It doesn't take us much to get in and review the entire system quickly, and that's why we can come in, look at your numbers, and recommend tests quickly, and that's why it's a $197 a month thing.
Yeah, I think that this is a wonderful program. It's a one of a kind. I have not seen anybody out there saying, let me do it for you. Have I been looking for somebody to do it for me? Yes. But no one can, do this comprehensive study and really implement and take it forward for me until you, Piyush. And I don't know why you decided to do this, but I really think you're onto something, because there are people like myself, we only know so much, and we can only do so much. So we do need a system around how to take our business to the next level on the internet, and we don't know how to do it. We take a piece from here, a piece from there, information from this person, some from this person, and we don't know what to do about it. So I think you've really nailed it with this offer. I'm thrilled that I'm on here with you tonight.
That's great, thanks. And yeah, I mean, I wanted to do this so that I don't want, I want to make sure that others don't go through the pain that I've been through, and if I can share the systems and get them to get the benefit while they focus on their things, on their business, that'd be so great for me. That's kind of the program I've laid out, and for people who need to leave early, I've got a site, joineyb.com, if you want to go in and sign up. Here's the piece, though, that's important. I can only take 5 clients from this. So 5 people, the first 5 who sign up get this, because I can only do so much with each person, and I don't want to take on too many. So if you're interested, you want to get started right away, you can just go to that website, and I'll show this again later, but if you need to leave early, here's the site you can go to sign up. And one of the things I like when I work with people, it's the people who take quick decisions and business owners who see the value in this and jump in and sign up quickly. Those are the easiest to work with, even when I'm working on these pieces later on. So it'd be great if you're interested, just go to that site and sign up. I forgot to mention there's a one-time fee set up, but there's also a payment plan that we do for $17.77 a month for 3 months that you can do. So you can you can sign up for that payment plan right on that site.
I'm sorry I didn't ask about that, Piyush, because I would be. I'm working with Piyush, and I definitely invested in this, but I like payment plans. Even though sometimes you have to finance them, there's still, at least you can get into a program because somebody is nice enough to have a payment plan. So the payment plan is $17.77 per month. Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's it.
Perfect.
For the setup. So that's for the setup. So anyway, that's the program. I'm going to continue and show you now some of the maps and the dashboards that we've developed. Is that okay?
Yes, I think you know what, the information is fabulous. So yeah, go on. This is great. Great.
Now, real soon here, I'm going to introduce somebody who I've been working with, one of my clients, and show their map that they've been doing. So I think they're going to join as well. So I'm just going to walk through a process map for what I've built and show you a real live example. So here's how a process map looks like, a very high level. You got the keyword things that happen for SEO. This is one of the flows. So you have someone searching for a specific thing on Google or Yahoo or email or MSN. They then come to a landing page. So that's a landing page, which is where you give away something for free in exchange for their email, and that's the lead generation piece that I talked about. And then you jump into the lead conversion, where you now have their email address, and so you're now sending them an email or 2 or 3 or 10, whatever we come up with in the strategy. But we're sending them these emails. It could even be a postcard that goes out, And the whole idea is you want to bring these folks into something called sales page, which I had shown you before. So we're pointing them all to the sales page so they come to buy something there. We could also have some blogs, and we could also have videos and things like that where people can be going and looking at this thing, looking at our products, looking at our services. But the whole point is we're pointing them towards the sales page. So here is a process map. I mean, it can be as simple as this. There's more to it in terms of the details behind it, but here's the overall process map. And once I had this, I really looked at this and I managed all of my stuff around this. And here's why I was able to do that. Before I move on to the numbers, people have asked me before, is this only work with products? And does it only work if I have a product to sell? And the answer is no, it works with services as well. I know a lot of people who signed up for this webinar have service companies, and they're doing service kinds of things for businesses. The only difference, it looks pretty much the same. The only difference is obviously you have different keywords and different landing page. You're giving away something different for free. But instead of a product or a sales page, you now are trying to point them to, let's say, a phone call, or having them call you, or having them look at some videos and webinars. And it could be a different way to convert. And that's based on what your strategy is to convert these folks. But it pretty much works the same way, where you have the lead generation and the conversion piece, and you have a map that looks like this. The cool part about having this is I can now use this as a way to track things, and this is now can be my dashboard. So I can have numbers for all of these things. How many people searched for this keyword, how many came to this landing page, how many people took the free things, and so on and so forth. Even the arrows, how many people clicked on here, on here, and here. And now this is my dashboard. I can now look at this on a weekly, monthly basis and say, how are we doing? And this is a snapshot of my entire system. And so now I have a way to manage the entire process with this dashboard and process map. In fact, I can now see where my problem areas are at a quick glance. If I have a process map with green arrows and I say, okay, those things are fine, but it's the red ones that are causing me problems. And you can adjust the green and red based on certain targets or goals and things that you may have set. But if at a glance I can say, my SEO is not doing good, my emails, this is not being opened as often, and that link no one seems to be clicking on. What's going on? Now you can look at this and say, I need to focus my attention on improving this, this, and this. So that's just a conceptual way of looking at this. I'd like to actually introduce somebody that I've been working with. I don't know if they're on. Hopefully they are. Is Dr. Lisa on?
Hi, Piyush. I'm here.
Hi, Dr. Lisa. Great. Great to have you. This is Dr. Lisa Lang. She's with Science of Business. And I've been working with Dr. Lisa and the company for over a year now. And we put together some of these strategies with them. And what I'd like to do is actually have you, if you would, talk about just the process map bit and the dashboard and kind of how you use it. Is that okay?
That'd be great.
Okay, so I'm just going to show you the dashboard that we have for you, a version of it, and then I'd like you to just tell us how you use this and what these numbers mean to you.
Okay, well, I use this at least once a week, and sometimes I look at it on a daily basis. I'm an engineer, and I loved seeing these numbers, so for me, this dashboard was the ultimate. And we spend quite a bit on marketing. So the other piece was to be able to see what marketing is working and what's not working. And then, you know, Piyush talked about the testing. If you can see what's not working, you can either try a different version, or you can change your marketing strategy altogether. So for me, this has been extremely important and has really helped drive our business and know where to focus our continuous improvement so that we get more and more leads, leading to more and more clients over time. So for example, anything in red here is something that I might look at. So the website says that we're only converting about 6% there. And that one would be more important to me because there's 84 leads coming in, more leads than are coming in through the webinar. And so I would look at that website and say, why isn't that converting higher? And I would say, okay, Piyush, we need to do some testing on that. We need to create a test and try some different versions and get that converting higher because we're wasting a lot of visits. I don't need to drive more visits. I need to get the conversions up higher. And then I might look at the webinar next and say, why is my webinar not converting? It could be something in the video, and so if I don't have, initially I did not have webinar statistics. I didn't know when people were dropping off. When did they stop watching? And so we put some statistics on the webinar, and then I could see, okay, about the 10-minute mark, for some reason, people were dropping off. Now I can rework that and see if we can increase the conversion. And so I look at this all the time to see what's working, what's not working, what should we be testing, are we spending our marketing dollars on the right thing? And so for me, it's been just fantastic. And we now have Piyush do, anytime we have a new product or service we want to put out there, we put it into this program. I mean, he literally just takes care of everything, and then the dashboard's up and running, and off we go. So it's been absolutely fantastic for us. I highly recommend the program. He takes one product or service, totally transforms it, gets you started, and it happens so quickly, and you can focus on doing what you do best. And for me, you know, letting Piyush handle this stuff has been just a wonderful process.
Cool. Well, thanks so much, Dr. Lisa. I appreciate your time, and know you're real busy, but I appreciate you coming on the call and just kind of sharing this with us. One of the things that I wanted to say is you work with machine shop owners and manufacturing types of companies, but the process is still the same. I mean, you still use the same kinds of marketing strategies and things, even for that kind of.
Yeah, exactly. We provide a service. We teach shops how to schedule their shop floor, so it's a service. Right. And this works great, so it really doesn't matter what you sell. Right. Your product or service is pretty much irrelevant as long as you can communicate with Piyush, and in that transfer session, and there's plenty of interaction, so it's not like a one-shot deal. There's plenty of interactions and iterations to really make sure that you're communicating what you sell and the value behind it. And once you do that, the rest of it just falls into place.
Cool. Very, very good. Thanks so much, Dr. Lisa. So appreciate that, and I'll keep going here with the presentation. Thanks so much for sharing some of these details with us. So anyway, I just wanted to talk about where I was before, and you heard it from Dr. Lisa and Patricia as well in terms of things that this has helped them do. It's helped me for sure as well. This is where I was, where I would have VAs. But this is how it's become, where I focus on the things that I enjoy doing, and then I'm really just managing the processes and systems that we've set up, the dashboard and those kinds of things, and do that with the strategy process map, implementing this process, and then managing. I mean, I follow the same things for my business and for my online tools and systems. So that's how it now is, and that's what I'm trying to get others to realize, where they need to be or how it can help them focus on their gifts and their products. So I have more to talk about in terms of the delivery and retention. Probably not enough time here to cover all of these things, but one of the things that I really wanted to talk about for customer retention, this is a part really, and I don't know, Patricia, you may agree with me, on where the money can really be made. Once you have clients and you've sold them something, this is where you can now really have a great base to grow your business. And Infusionsoft talked about this as well in terms of what they call the nurture campaign, where you follow up with your clients, follow up with people who already bought from you, and try to sell other things to them. And when I said, well, you know, you're trying to sell other things to them, this was a question that someone said, would buying from you more often improve their life? If they bought from you once, and if they buy from you more often, would they improve their life? And if the answer is yes, you should be out there selling stuff to them so that they realize that you have more to offer. So that's the retention part that you should be thinking about. And the piece that, one thing that I've really talked about before as well is affiliate marketing. And I was an affiliate marketer, and the things that I would look for in an affiliate program is how well does it convert, what do they currently have, what are the numbers, do they know what they're doing, and if they do, then I want to market for them, because then I get a piece of everything I send to them. Same way, if you have a system or your product is selling well and you got this process set up and you got the numbers, you can now attract other affiliate marketers for you to help you grow your business. So that's just one of the things that you should be thinking about once you have the system in place, to really be bringing on other people who would be now more willing to, or more happy to be selling your stuff, because they know that you will convert at a certain percentage and you know what those numbers are as well. So in summary, your product or service plus the online marketing system can get you growth. And I add in there the mapped online marketing system that really gets you set up for growing your business. So that's pretty much what I wanted to cover today. I'd like to keep it to the mark of an hour, and I'd like to actually leave some time for questions as well. So I really appreciate everybody who's come and stayed on this webinar, including Dr. Lang as a panelist and Patricia for allowing me to do this. And the program that I have to offer, you heard it before, but it's basically setting it up and doing this all for you, including the process maps and the dashboards and connecting it all together at the $49.97 and plus the bonus. So if you want to sign up for that, just go to joineyb.com. I'd like to actually take questions now because I want to hear from you guys what you think and any things that you might be interested in learning more about. So if you go to your chat box on this program, you can now ask questions if you have any, and if you don't, then I'd be happy to stick around to answer anything else that may show up here shortly.
Piyush, I have a question from somebody that emailed me.
Okay.
And he said, this sounds like it's unbelievable for the pricing because he's been around in the internet business for a while.
Okay.
And so does the $49.97 include 3 full months of you doing this for them so that they actually sell some kind of a building kind of package of some sort? So is the 3 months you just you interview them, and you take them through this process, and you write their landing page, and you put everything together for them, you do their tracking for that $49.97?
Well, for people who are on the call now, yes. I mean, it's a $79.97 price, but I'm having that special program here for $49.97. So
yeah, I think that's wonderful. I mean, you know, I know that's an investment for a lot of people, but I just know that I have spent years now trying to figure out how to make money on the internet, and this just seems like you kind of put the whole thing together. And my question for you is, did you just come up with this because of your travels? As you were saying, I tried this, I tried this, I tried this, and then you just finally put this together because of that?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of was a combination of those things. I was looking for a solution for myself. And it was for the things that I was building, and there was too many things out there, and I saw too many people who come to these events and webinars and live events for these shiny objects, and it was all to do about training them. So you got to come here and then learn all this stuff, and then go back and implement it. And I just said there must be someone who can learn this stuff and implement it, and then I'll pay them whatever it is. And I couldn't find that person, so I put it together then. And there, I don't know how many others, there may be others doing this, but I'd like to be out there and helping others set this up.
Yeah, I know that about you. And I have not found another person that really and truly put this together and said, don't worry, I'll do it for you. And especially when you said, you know, for busy business owners, it's for incompetent business owners on the internet, I think.
Well, I think, I mean, it's a learning process. I mean, business owners can learn this if they want to. I mean, if they're business owners, that's a big deal, that you have your own business. So, but you just don't have the time to learn all this stuff while you're running your company. And so, you know, I think business owners can take this and eat it up all day long if they actually had that much time to learn this stuff. But if you don't have the time to do this, then have someone, you know, set this up, and you could outsource all of this stuff to somebody. But if you outsource everything, you got to make sure it's the right team and the right group doing it. But then you never know what happens, and if you don't have control over that, if it's not your system that you've built and you've been part of, you'll be back in square one if group falls away or something. So, you know, I would say you need to be involved in the building process, but you also need to see the system set up and in a way that you control the dashboard and you know how these things are. You care about the final numbers, and the numbers are not working. You want to go and call on the person and say, why is this not working? Just like Dr. Lisa does. So that's why I didn't want this to be I'll do everything for you. You don't need to do nothing. I mean, that's not what this is either. It's let me do the parts to create a template and a system for you for one of your products or services, and then take that and you can continue building on it.
Okay, I have one coming in, so
okay.
I'm going to send it and see if that works.
Yeah. So the question is, this is Terry from LA asking if you teach us how to do it yourself.
Oh, ourselves, I think you meant. Yeah.
Okay. So the question is, would we teach you how to do this yourself? And that we can do that. I think for this program, I'm going to have us set it up. I mean, I could have other programs that I build later on where I'm teaching people how to do this. But what I found is there's a lot of programs out there that teach you to do things. And so I really wanted to make it slightly different here for people who don't have the time and don't have and have a need here to get their business set up and start making sales. I'd like to get to those folks and really start implementing those systems. So I don't have that yet, but I will build that if I get enough interest in having us have someone teach this thing. So another question is, sales page makes or breaks a sale, and who does that for us? So great question. Here's how the sales page works. I have a copywriter who is experienced in this, and what we do is we spend the first month with you, and it's not the whole month, but we spend a couple of calls, couple of 1 hour to 2 hour calls with you to get enough information about your product or service. And from that, we create a sales page, the sales copy. And so I don't do the sales copy myself, but I have an expert who is a sales copy person who sets up the sales copy based on the information we talk about. So I either have that person on the call with us when we speak, we have a list of questions that we go through, and all related to sales copy. And then this person takes that information and converts it to a sales copy and then use that. Now remember, there's also sales copy and then there's testing. So we got to do both. You can't get sales copy perfect the first time where you're converting 100%. So you got to keep doing testing. So we will get the main piece started, the main page set up for sales copy, and then we start testing it out as well. So yes, we do create the sales copy, and we recognize that it's a real important part of the overall process.
Piyush, this question comes from me because of what I was saying earlier. I did bits and pieces of this. So I hired an SEO, I hired a copywriter, I hired, a social media, all these different things. I wonder what this program, that probably is a good thing for you to figure out. How much do you think this program would cost if you went to each one of those pieces? To, a little piece here, a little piece there. Because as I say, I mean, $6,000, $8,000, I mean, $14,000 over here, and I mean, it's been crazy.
Right, and it varies a lot. I mean, I think you could go out and spend a lot of money, and I spent several, tens of thousands of dollars on just learning this stuff before I even got people to do it for me. But people can spend all kinds of money doing things in piecemeal. Now, you could get cheap kinds of people on Odesk or Elance or some of those places where people from India or wherever else are doing this for you, and you can do it one piece at a time real cheap, but it still needs to all be connected together, and it needs to be your sales copy, and it needs to be your words, and it needs to be your format of how it all works. And so to find someone who can put all that together, I mean, either you do it yourself or you kind of work with us to put it together in terms of the whole strategy. So it would be a good exercise to see how much each one would cost separately.
I think it would too. I think that's a kind of a good thing to do.
Okay. We got another question, and it says, can you create the entire website, not only just a sales and landing page? Now, of course, yeah, we can do that. That would be a different piece to this. If the entire website needs to be changed as part of the overall sales strategy, yes, we could work with you. And I don't know, I don't think we would do the entire website, redo the entire website for you for this program, but it's more taking the pieces of the website that we need to change to make the sales more effective. That's probably what we would be working on. So we don't typically, for the clients I work with, I don't typically start with their website. I start with the keywords, I start with the strategy, I then go out and figure out what are people searching for, and then what kinds of pages would they be coming to, and what kind of information would they be looking for. And we create these landing and sales pages, and we take elements from the existing website to put in there. We even have different URLs, or different website names that are more keyword friendly, SEO friendly, so that they rank higher in Google and so on. So we do work with pieces of your existing website. Again, remember, this is for one product or one service, so we won't be doing all your products and all your services. That would be a different program that I don't have yet. But this is for one product and or one service. So we would take that and work it all the way through. I had another question. Is there a way to, if you're new and not generating income, is there a way to get started with some part of this? And that's a good question. I've got that a couple of times in terms of, can I just do this one piece, or can I just have you do this one part of it? And the part that makes most sense to me that we would do, I don't think I want to just do SEO for someone or just keyword, because that's just getting back to how you're currently doing it. And I feel an overall strategic way of looking at this is the most effective. And so the most value added piece for me is to put it all together. But if you're not generating income yet and you don't, and you have a product but it's not selling yet, we need to talk about that to see what is it that you currently have. I've kind of gone back and forth on that in terms of how do we get you started so that you could start generating some income from the products you have. But again, that's more of a discussion that we would have to have offline to see what exactly you had in mind and what kind of products you have. We're trying to find or set up people who have existing products or a service and are looking to grow and really make their sales more effective. So there is some part of that I'll be looking at, but it's quite not there yet.
Piyush, I really understand why people would be skeptical, because that's me also. I mean, I've been there with all these people that are piecemealing it. So I'm sure that they're looking at you like, he's just one more person. Can I really believe all of this? Working with you, you can believe all of this, folks, because I was skeptical also, not of Piyush, but of other people, and ever working with somebody again on the internet with landing pages and SEO work and PPC and especially sales page, and I'm impressed. I really am. And somebody just emailed me and said, most internet people are doing it at such a high price now, and he's right. They are doing it at a high price. How can you do this at such a reasonable price?
Right. Well, I mean, I think part of this is I've got the system set up now that I can do this in a way that's effective. So I'm not spending a lot of time chasing after different things. We have an idea. I mean, we have our system set up. So when a new client comes in, we're going to answer these questions, go through this process, and it goes through fairly quickly. I mean, I have the people in place. They know when they get a certain piece, they need to turn it around and give me the result, and then that goes to the next person. So I have set up my system so that I'm following my own principles here, which is I don't want to be working in all of this one thing at a time. I've set it up so that when I have the phone call, I record it. It goes to the SEO person. They look at it. They know exactly what needs to be done. They give me the URLs that make sense. They've done the keyword research. They send it to the copyright guy, who then creates the initial copy. I review that. So again, I've got all these pieces that are working, and it doesn't require me to be hand-holding or learning and all that, and it's an optimized system. So that's what I'm trying to build. I'm trying to build my systems as well, which are optimized so I can process more people and get more people set up with these kinds of things. So, and that's why I'm taking on only 5 right now that I can handle. When I can handle more, that's when I'll be growing and taking on more clients and things like that. But to me, a reasonable price is something that it's based on what value I can add. And if I add value to you and your business and you get the returns, that's what I'm interested in as well. So I want to make sure that you get the returns for your investment that you make.
Yeah, that was a good answer. And I don't know, are there any other questions that you see, Piyush?
No, I don't see any more. I don't mind hanging out for a little bit more, but if there's no other questions, I think that would be a wrap.
Yeah, it is a wrap, and you did a fabulous job on that. That PowerPoint presentation was just fabulous. And for all of those of you out there that need a little push to, gee, should I really work with him? Should I really do that? Please, he has references all over the place with people that he's working with right now that he's making such a difference in their internet presence. We need to have an internet presence if we're moving forward in our businesses, period. So go to www.joineyb.com, and I love this, /do it for me. That's my favorite word. Those are my favorite words, Piyush.
Excellent. Very good. Well, thanks so much for everybody who's stayed on and listened in, and all the questions, great questions. And I look forward to hearing back from you guys.
Good night, everybody.